All right, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise and glory unto you. How about Shemal Rashai, by Shem Kakodash, the bonus of the apostle and others, great millstone. Shalom to all that I came out of preaching the word of sincerity and in truth. I just want to, speak a couple words on this situation. On this Breonna Taylor shooting. Everybody is familiar with this case that took place and the death of the woman. Um, she was shot by the cops. And this shows that this country is wicked itself, man. And shame on a lot of you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans still trusting in this place, man. A lot of you jigs still trusting the justice system. You still trusting, politics. You're gonna vote. You're looking to get one of these white people elected, whether it's Trump or Biden. You know, or dealing with your mayors and your different elected officials. You jakes to go out your way and you'll fund and you'll wear the buttons, whether you're Democrat or Republican, and you'll really go out your way to push for the system, not knowing that the system is gonna f you over left and right, man, up and down. It's totally geared and centered to be against you, man, and that's just the plain truth. And it says Breonna Taylor shooting fired Louisiana officer indicted on criminal charges, but not her death. And that's just a slap on the wrist. It says Brett Hankins was indicted on 3 counts of wanton endangerment in the first degree. Read a little bit. One of the 3 police officers involved in the Louisville, Kentucky drug operation that led to the death of Breonna Taylor in March 2020 was indicted Wednesday on criminal charges. Officer Brett Hankinson, who was fired in June, was indicted on 3 counts of wanton endangerment in the first degree. A Jefferson County grand jury decided Wednesday. Neither the grand jury nor the presiding judge elaborated on the charges. A warrant has been issued for Hankinson arrest, and the bond is set at $15,000 cash. But it says no charges were announced against the 2 other officers involved in the raid, Miles Cosgrove and Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly, who was shot in the leg and underwent surgery after the police operation that resulted in Taylor's death. The indictment was announced 194 days after Taylor, a 26-year-old black emergency medical worker, was shot 6 times by the officers who entered her home using a no-knock warrant during a narcotics investigation. Which pretty sure everybody in their moment is familiar with the death of this woman. As well as all these other black deaths that took place in the past and that still taking place. And that it all just shows you the system, man. The system is it's designed, like I said, it's designed to work against you. I seen this case. Individual was I think convicted of rape. If I'm not mistaken, it was a white man, and I think he got 4 years, and he broke the individual's ribs. I think it was actually a child that the individual was raping. And he only got 4 years, sentenced to 4 years. And this case, it's all kind of different cases where Esau will judge biasly, because Edomites protect Edomites. These whites, they'll crack the gavel and give you 150 to 200 years, for some bullshit. Like this one Jake, it was his Israelite. He got locked up back in the day for weed charges, and it was during the time when he had the 3 strikes law, and that was his 3rd felony charge, and he had a long deal of time, man. And basically spent decades in prison, and they just got him out recently. And here it is now in today's time, weed is legalized in a lot of these different states, man. For recreate. They say medicinal purposes. They know damn well Jake is gonna use it for recreational purpose to get high. But Esau could just change these different laws at the drop of a dime. But years prior, they'll lock up an immense amount of Jakes. You know, and then they speaking about this no knock warrant under the narcotics ring, under for the narcotics. But who a lot of these different law enforcement agencies, they're the ones that push these different narcotics. All right, they push these different drugs, they push these different guns. These sex trafficking rings, these individuals that's over these different left hand side trafficking and criminal activity is predominantly white people, man. And it's a lot of times has to do with your government, man. Your government gets paid through the left and the right, and a lot of people don't want to swallow that pill. Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Right, and if you think about America, they took a lot of their principles and their legislations. They took a lot of their structure, the body of law from ancient Rome, from ancient Greece, from ancient Babylon, and they put it into practice in this American, justice system. And a lot of you Jakes, you just don't get the fact that, this place isn't the place for you, I say you still trying to vote. You still looking for the next president to save you out of your hard situations and hard. That's part of the curses. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that real fast, cause this white man ain't gonna save you from a damn thing, man. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Yeah, another word for buy is to redeem. Want to get this other one? Yeah, this white man is not going to redeem you from the hell that you're undergoing. You see, they're throwing all these different individuals out of their houses because they can't pay rent. And why can't they pay rent? Because of a disease outbreak that's been speculated to be pushed by the goddamn government. And whether it's pushed from them or not, these individuals being thrown from their 9-to-5s, the minimum wage jobs, and not being able to pay their rent, you would think that the government would have a high level of leniency, but they don't give a fuck, And a lot of those police, you'll see these, like I think it was in Houston, you'll see these different cops, basically, issuing Jake's eviction and either evicting them that day or telling them in 30 days or whatnot. Then they'll throw them out, and they can't go to the courts and plead their case, and speak on the coronavirus. They don't want to hear it, man. These judges don't have sympathy or empathy for you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. They know how harsh and how hard it is for people that's poor, that's struggling, and they're still not going to plead the cause. While you have these other white people living high of the hog, these multi-billionaires, these Jeff Bezos and these Mark Zuckerbergs that's making billions upon billions of dollars in the midst of a pandemic. They're not loaning you niggas, any money, in these project residences and these ghettos and these trenches to get back on your feet. They're not trying to invest in shelters and things of that nature. They're taking their billions and they're establishing more tech enterprises, man. Investments for them and their family tree to bloom while basically we ride away, man. That's why it's this thing is about nations, man. National elevation, and we're looking to grow as a people, and you devils aren't invited. That's why the scriptures speak about a particular people being raised up. It tells you that in Luke 1:68, the horn of our salvation, Israel, and the house of the servant David. When Yahushua comes and returns, he's gonna put punishment against the wicked and it speaks about the rich men in James the 5th chapter, which are the white race. All right, Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. Right. So the scriptures speak about this ain't the place of our rest, man. This isn't a place where we could just kick back and be at ease. You know, you have the white man that's pulling the rug from up under your feet while you standing on top of it, man. You know, unraveling a whole new agenda. That's why, you know, you'll see all this policy being pushed for this to be a further police state. All right, more surveillance. All right, that they're trading all your information. I was listening to the news about them, you know, basically trading all your information without your consent, you know, throughout the internet, you know, and they're going to keep doing these different things because what? The white man is your enemy, man. And the scriptures tells you, which I'm going to get this and I'm going to close it because I'm just going to make it fairly quick. But I did want to speak on this Breonna Taylor situation. You know, you see all these other blacks, you know, the rap sheet is so long, you know, of Jakes that just get shot down. And a lot of times, you know, it's just from aggressive police that's ill-trained, police that have you know, they have a grudge against you, Jakes, and they want to see you dead. They're plain and simple. They want to see you put to death. You know, they'll put the foot on your neck. They'll gag you out. You know, shoot you down. You know, all these different cases, and then, you know, now we're in the, you know, the age of the internet where all these different recordings take place, and you just see cops beating the shit out of Jakes left and right, man. And it was a time where they didn't record these things, and a lot of this stuff wasn't being you know, televised. All right. Sirach 12:10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Yeah, and you'll listen to these different ad campaigns, and then you'll hear, you know, certain devils try to come up and act like they're trying to look out for the poor. They're just trying to get their foot in the door and get the so-called black man's vote, man. That's all they're trying to do. And then they'll, you know, mainly target, you know, the predominantly black and Latino or minorities, so that they could actually get your, you know, your vote, which your vote doesn't count, but the fact of gaining your trust. And when they have your trust in their back pocket and they getting themselves in a position, what do they look out for? They look out for their own. And it happens time and time again. And, you know, that's why it's time for us to raise up as a people, as it is written, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. All right. We're supposed to be gathering, building, you know, establishing our, you know, trust amongst the brotherhood and our system, man. You know, and like I said, I want to just go into this to show an example of more and more bullshit that comes from this place. And as this place goes on, we're gonna see more of it, man. And it's really to shake you Jakes up, because what the scriptures speak about Judah being a sleepy ass lion, man. Who shall rouse him up? You know, Judah crouching down like an old lion, and you see these protesters and rioters rousing up, and a lot of them, you know, are starting to see that truly the 12 tribes of Israel. That's the prophecy, man, and that's for you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know, so I just want to, you know, go into this. You know, hopefully, brother edify. I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shai, Hashem, Kakodash, double honor to the apostle and the others, great millstone. Shalom, Akim.